Hello, my name is Mark Sampson, and I quickly want to share with you a simple method that I have found by experimentation that has driven more than an extra 25% more traffic to my eBay store. You can see in front of you just now an auction that I currently have on eBay, and it's a 2009 wall planner. I started this auction just over 4 days ago, and I started it with a starting bid of 1p and selected free postage. Now I'm in the UK and I have put postage down for anybody out of the UK, but this listing is purely for the intention of driving traffic to my other listings. Now you probably know that when you do a search on eBay, you can sort that search by items ending soonest, items listed most recent, and also items with a combined selling and postage price of lowest price first. And that's exactly what I'm trying to capture here. If anybody was to do that on the category that this auction is in, certainly at the beginning of the auction it would have come up at the very top because it was only 1p. Since then the auction has now got up to £1.60, but with free postage, so it's still going to be near the top, if not still at the very top, because £1.60 isn't a lot. And what I've actually done in the listing is I've explained to potential viewers of this listing why I've started the listing with just 1p, and I've referred it to, or compared it to, like a lost leader in a supermarket. But then directly underneath that I have invited people to browse my store by clicking on the category links on the left hand side here. So I've captured them, I've invited them to look at my store, and generally you'll find that if you actually ask someone to do something, then the chances are that they're probably going to do it. And at the end of the day, if they are truly interested in the item they're looking at, they'll probably come back to it anyway. Most people hit the back button on their browser these days to get back to a page they were currently viewing, and it's ever so easy to do, and it takes a few seconds. So that does encourage people to look at your store and hence look at your other listings, which they may then of course go on to purchase. So how do I know that this particular listing has resulted in an extra 25% more visitors to my store? How I know that is because when you have an eBay store, which by the way my eBay store is info-sources, if you wish to take a look, it's important that you put a capital I and a capital S so you can go and have a look. But how do I know that this has driven these extra visitors to my store? Because when you have an eBay store, you have a tool called traffic reports, and this tool shows you many different statistics, mainly how many page views you've had each day, how many visits a particular listing has had, and also which have been your most popular. I'm just going over to this now, which I'm already signed in. I'm just going to the front page that you get when you first sign into the traffic reports. On the front page you can see that I've got a page views report and a visits report. It tells you here in the description, if you wish to pause the video quickly, it tells you what the difference is between these two. But basically a visit is somebody who looks at any page in your store, and a visitor is anyone who looks at a page in your store, and a visit is anyone who's looked at more than one page in your store for a consecutive period of 30 minutes or more without a break. So I've already mentioned that it's the 7th of January today, and I've already mentioned that this auction started just over 4 days ago, so that really takes us to the 4th. And you can see here a sudden spike in the number of page views I've had this month. If we scroll down, we can also see that since the 4th, my visits have also dramatically increased. With yesterday the 6th, I had 81 separate visits where where 81 people browsed my store for a minimum of 30 minutes, and you can see that's got more and more ever since that listing started 4 days ago. So you can naturally conclude from that that listing probably caused most of those extra visits. Now, how do I know that particular listing done that? Because we also have in the traffic reports tool facility, top keywords that drove traffic to your store. So I'm going to click on that now, and we'll be presented with a graph which tells us the different keywords that people have typed into eBay, and as a result of that search have then gone on to look at your particular listing. So we can see here that this is for January's figures only, but 17.7% of my eBay store traffic has been generated by the search term wall planner. A further 10.1% of my eBay traffic has been generated by the search term 2009 wall planner. Combined, that's 27.8% of my traffic has been generated by these two search terms, and as that listing that I just showed you is the only listing I have with the words wall planner in the auction title, it's obviously that listing that's driven this extra traffic to my store. So you can see that's a very powerful technique of driving extra traffic to your store. Now, anybody who's searched my store or bought from me in the past will know that my main line of products are CD-ROMs, which are informational based CD-ROMs, PDFs, exe files and video tutorials, plus a certain amount of software as well. So that particular listing doesn't really relate to the products that I'm selling in my eBay store. So just imagine how powerful this technique would be if you did actually list something on auction which is related to the niche of products that you're selling in your store. And of course, if you actually had more than one auction running starting at 1p. Imagine if you listed one every day. You know, it's certainly something worth experimenting with, and I'm going to continue with this particular technique. The reason that I've started to do this is because I've decided that I want to try and increase my traffic to my store. I want to increase sales in my store, and the main way that you can do that is by generating extra visitors. Extra traffic equals extra sales at the end of the day. So I hope that you have found this video very interesting and useful, and if you decide to try this technique out yourself, I wish you all the best of luck. And if you have been watching this video on my blog, I invite you to leave any comments below. Also, of course, if you wish to browse my store, you can see a link to my store on the blog itself, which you'll find down the right hand side. Thank you very much for watching.